Hey everybody, it's Polish Pete, and the fall months are upon us. The water temps are cooling down, and we're almost in jerkbait season. The most popular jerkbait in the world, the Megabass Vision 110. Megabass has complicated things a little bit over the years by making a whole bunch of great jerkbaits in this family, different models for different applications. So we're going to go through the entire family of the Megabass Vision 110. Starting off with the Megabass Vision 110 family, you can't go wrong talking about the original, the OG, best jerkbait ever made. That's the Vision 110. And there's a lot of argument about that. A lot of anglers can't justify the premium price point these things bring. The $25 for a jerkbait is a hard pill for a lot of anglers to swallow. But if you're a jerkbait angler with any sort of success in jerkbait fishing at all, you can vouch for the fact that this is the staple. Now there's a lot of other manufacturers that certainly make great ones for the value or better price points and things like that that are good values, but in my opinion, still nobody's figured out how to make one cast as far as these things cast and suspend in cold water as well with all the action that you can impart into these. They come with out barb hooks on them, which is a pretty unique feature. The hook barb is actually on the outside of the hook, so you got to be a little bit more careful with them for sticking yourself, but they do tend to hook up negative fish that are barely even swiping at the bait and not really biting that good. They hook them up really well, especially in those cold winter months. And as we head into that time of year, this is going to be a bait that's getting thrown a lot by a lot of serious anglers, especially when those water temps kind of bottom out for the year. Next up is the Vision 110 Plus 1. This one happens to be my confidence jerkbait. I think these ones are my favorite because these ones get down to that 9-10 foot depth range, which is typical for my area of the country. I have a lot of confidence in these. I can fish these closer to the bottom in that shallow structure. I can fish a little slower with my rod tip up and not really contact the bottom if I don't want to. But I can still get this thing really deep for smallmouth, suspending fish. I can call up suspending smallmouth or suspending largemouth with it. I've had my most success with the jerkbait with this one. If you've never tried a suspending jerkbait before, I actually think this one is a great one to get started with. It's easy to fish. It suspends great. It really does target, in my opinion, that most effective part of the water column for a suspending jerkbait, which to me is that 6 to 10 foot range, 5 to 10 foot range, I should say, where a lot of fish kind of get negative and they may not be holding hard to the bottom, but they're kind of in the middle, deciding whether they want to go up shallow or get into some deep water. So the Megabass Vision 110 Plus 1 to me is the most versatile of the whole bunch I'll be talking about here today in the family. Next up is the Vision 110 Plus 2. This is the new kid on the block for the standard size 110s, and this one's gained some notoriety for winning some bigger tournaments once the Panoptics or live transducers came out on the market. You're able to actually, on a shorter cast, get this thing into some deep water. Obviously on a long cast, you can get it in way deeper water, but if you're looking at that live sonar and you want to get your jerkbait right into that target zone in front of those fish and suspend it there, this has been a really killer bait for that particular technique. Obviously, being a plus 2, its diving range is the deepest of the bunch. They list it as a 12-foot diver, but I happen to know some people with certain line been able to get it down on a long cast in 15+ foot of water. So this is a really deep suspending jerkbait, and it's a cool tool to have. I don't own a bunch of them, but I've got a few for that particular situation where I might be marking some fish in deeper water that I can't call up with the Plus 1. So if you're looking to get really deep, if you fish a really deep, clear body of water, check out the Vision 110 Plus 2. Next up is the juniors. So there's a standard junior and a junior Plus 1. Now the difference with these ones here to me is basically the type of tackle you would fish them on. The Plus 1 here can get down in that 7-foot plus depths, but it can be fished on casting tackle. I think where the standard 110 shines is in shallow water with a spinning rod. Yes, I know I'm going to catch some flack for that because all you jerkbait purists like to throw everything on a casting rod, and I do too. But I really do think this particular jerkbait shines with a really light line in shallow water for finicky fish, really clear shallow water with a spinning rod. I've had a harder time imparting the action and casting it really far with casting tackle with this particular model, whereas with the 110+1, it seems a little easier. There's more resistance on this one, and I can still make it dance around and do what I want with a casting rod. So if you're looking to downsize to get really finicky fish, if you live somewhere where it's a high populous area or a really heavily tournament traffic on your body of water, or maybe there's just not a lot of fish in the system that you're fishing, and keying in on every single bite matters, downsizing your jerkbait can get you some more bites. So the 110+1 Junior, like I said, to me is the smallest I'd go with casting equipment. The standard Junior can be fished awesome on a spinning rod if you're a BFS angler, and if you don't know what that is, you're gonna have to look that up. That's a whole nother subject in itself. But BFS anglers, if you got that kind of equipment where you can cast this and you have a soft enough rod where you can still impart perfect action on it, you can check out some casting tackle with this, but I would suggest throwing it on a spinning rod. So that wraps up the Vision 110 family. If you're getting into jerkbait fishing, like I said, to recap, I would look at the Vision 110+1. I think it's the most versatile of this whole bunch here. It's caught me the most fish anyway out of all of them. But to be honest, I love them all. They're 110s. Who doesn't?